We're starting off this full week of eating on a Tuesday because I do some of my meal prep on Monday, so my first fresh start full day of eating of the week actually happens on a Tuesday. I start off every single morning with this coconut colt fermented probiotic yogurt, and this is how I get my probiotics in for the day. I don't know about you, but I would much rather get probiotics in a way that tastes like chocolate frosting than taking a capsule. So next we have a banana milk collagen chocolate latte situation. And this is also my favorite way to get in my collagen because it tastes like a mocha latte, but it also helps your hair, skin, and nails. So look forward to that every single morning. Now you see me getting some water, I'm putting my shoes on, and I am going on a run. And this is recently something that I have started doing, and I really wanted to get in some good cardiovascular shape. I feel like I haven't done cardio since I was doing incline walks during prep. And honestly, it just feels really good to sweat and to also have a performance-related goal. I feel like I haven't had a strictly performance-related goal since like high school sports, soccer, and cheerleading, because fitness in terms of bodybuilding is more so physique related, and while a bodybuilding prep was so much fun, it's not the same. So right after we go on our run, I am going to start making breakfast. I kind of eat the same breakfast every single day, but I switch up little things so that I'm getting some variety in my diet while still keeping it simple. So sometimes I'll switch up the spinach for arugula, which you'll see later on, but I usually like to make an egg white omelet, and I always have at least 2 eggs for the healthy fats with the choline. And I'm also eating a higher fat diet with Hashimoto's and supporting hormone-related goals. Getting in some extra fats and flavor with the vegan caramelized onion dip, and then I use a copious amount of nutritional yeast packed with B vitamins, and it tastes like cheese, so you really can't beat it. I put all of that plus some sugar-free ketchup on top of some potatoes, and that is my breakfast. Then I'm going to make my creamy that I'm gonna have later on in the day. I decided to go for more of a tropical vibe, so we have mango and peaches and pineapple, and then I'm using some light coconut milk and this MetaPure protein powder. This protein powder is basically like a multivitamin, but also very supportive of liver detoxification pathways, which is again still one of my goals. I did a video a couple of weeks ago on how to do a liver detox and what I was doing for my Hashimoto's and for my hormones, but there are some things that I have continued doing in my day-to-day that I feel like just make me overall feel better. Adding in some lemon and ginger for some more tropical vibes, and then we're just going to pop it into the freezer until I'm ready for it later.
One thing that you guys need to understand about my meals is that they're not the most aesthetic. They taste incredible, but they're not the most aesthetic. So here we have a slightly burnt egg white omelet with spinach with some potatoes on the side. We got ketchup, nutritional yeast, a vegan caramelized onion dip from Trader Joe's, which is so fire, and 2 eggs. So I'm gonna down this, get into some studying. I'm going through a hormones course and I absolutely love it. I think I might be a little bit hungrier today because I did do a run, and I haven't run like that in forever, and I also just started a new training block this week, so we will see. Might need to increase my calories. I'm currently eating around like 2,500-ish, and I've been maintaining on that. But my goal is to build a little bit of muscle. I do have a little bit more expenditure, so might go up to like 2,600, 2,700, we will see. Tell you guys that I'm going to be giving you the most realistic full day of eating, this is it. This is one of the meals that I have been vibing with for some time now, and it is quite literally a bowl of guacamole topped with a chicken breast. I will say that I've been absolutely loving this higher fat diet approach. I feel like I have so much more energy, I'm eating so much less volume, and I feel like it's really helping out my Hashimoto's as well. So along with the higher fat diet, I'm also eating paleo, so I don't eat gluten or dairy or grains. I didn't think that grains was going to make the biggest difference. I thought it was mainly just the gluten and dairy, but once I removed rice, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. The only thing that I really miss is oatmeal. I did find a paleo pancake mix that I'm really excited to try. I might do that this week and show you guys. But I find that since eating higher fat and going paleo, that I'm just making better decisions overall because I'm not reaching for like a rice cake or a quick carb, which is what I used to do when I was more so bodybuilding focused. Now the chicken breast is chopped, we're gonna microwave that. But I don't want to start it yet because we're gonna make the guac.
went to get a little fancy today with some kale. And then we add the chicken, and then I top it with this salsa.
You literally can't be upset when you're eating a bowl of guacamole. I ate my whole lunch and realized that I'm still hungry, so I'm gonna have a banana.
Oh, my fucking butthole.
It is creamy time. I think Chad and I are going to go to sushi tonight. I take him to dinner once a month and he has decided that tonight is the night. So, made up the creamy this morning. I'm gonna try it. I've never made it in a creamy. I've only had it in a smoothie, so I'm excited. I just went through and scraped down the sides. I find that it gets stuck there and it's like icy and it just ruins the whole eating experience. So scraped it down. We're gonna respin it and see what happens. She is thick and creamy. This is so good. The tropical fruit with the coconut, with a little ginger, so gas. And it has a scoop of Metapure in here, which is a protein powder. It also contains a full multivitamin as well as different compounds to support your body's natural detoxification process. So I find that I feel really good when I eat it. I was eating a type of protein powder like that every single day when I was in my liver cleansing protocol. And honestly, I just really enjoy it and how it makes me feel. So I've been eating it since.
And this is where the journey begins. This is where I royally fucked myself up and went to sushi. I thought that I could eat some grains. I didn't have that delicious looking roll that Chad had because I knew that that was gonna be filled with gluten and soy and the stuff that I couldn't have. I brought my own coconut aminos. I was like, this is gonna be totally fine. Totally fine. And guess what? It wasn't. Woke up this morning and felt not good at all. Maybe like a 4 out of 10, and I knew by the time I got home, my heart was racing and I had just felt like I had eaten something that my body could not handle. So you see me going for all of the drinks this morning. We have our holy basil tea. We have our dandelion root tea to support my liver detoxing, whatever bullshit I put into my body. Having that mocha latte again. We still want our hair, skin, and nail gains, but this time I was using milked hazelnuts. Again, really clean ingredients, just like to switch up my milks sometimes. Then we went for some electrolytes because we were going to the gym this morning, and I feel really good when I have electrolytes first thing in the morning. I find that it helps me kind of miss that midday crash and give me more sustained energy, especially because I don't drink coffee in the mornings. And then I'm taking that apple with me in the car on the way to the gym. As I mentioned before, I do switch up little things in my breakfast. So you see here, I'm having arugula instead of spinach so that I can be getting some more nutrients. I switched up my fat source, so we're having this VioLife cheese. Again, the egg omelet is slightly burnt, which, by the way, if you guys have not had the VioLife cheese, it is my favorite dairy-free cheese I have ever had in my entire life. It melts just like normal cheese, and the ingredients are coconut oil, so I can have it. It's not like soy-based or anything. Topping this again with ketchup, nutritional yeast, and 2 eggs, and that is my breakfast. Now this is fuck up number 2, all in the same day. I could tell that creamies were kind of throwing off my digestion, but I thought it was just what I was putting into the creamies, but no, it is the creamy itself. So this was my last creamy that I have made to date. I literally have to get rid of my creamy machine because I can't have it in the house. But we're having a chocolate and cherry situation for this evening.
Not gonna lie, you guys, I did have a cup of caffeine today. After last night, I am not feeling too hot, so all that I want to give my body is nutrients. So we're making a big old salad for lunch. Starting with the Cruciferous Crunch blend from Trader Joe's. This has cruciferous veggies in it, which supports the liver in detox processes, which is everything that my body needs today. Next, we are doing some blueberries, which are packed with antioxidants. Again, very liver protective as well as just overall cell health. And like this video if you are team fruit on salad. Next, we're adding another unsung hero in terms of vegetables, and it's sliced beets. So any vegetable that is quote unquote highly pigmented, meaning that the color goes from the outside all the way to the inside and doesn't change from like skin to flesh, is packed with vitamins, minerals, and polyphenols and are so good for you. Think like purple sweet potato, beets obviously, carrots, pumpkin, stuff like that. Beets in particular are packed with antioxidants, and these fight off free radicals in the body, so they're very protective of your cells and your DNA. I personally prefer them pickled, but canned works fine. Beets are a little involved when it comes to cooking because you have to like peel them and slice them and roast them, and I don't mind doing that for dinners sometimes, but for my lunches, I like to keep them really simple and easy. For my protein of choice on my salad, I'm gonna go with some salmon for the omega-3s, for the heart-healthy fats. Omega-3s are also anti-inflammatory. Now for some fun toppings, we're going to add this pack of artichokes that I got from Thrive Market. They come pre-cooked and pre-seasoned. I love artichokes. And lastly, for the flavor, sun-dried tomato.
Have you forgotten the icon handbook?
You said when you're an icon, and I about threw up in my mouth.
Not my fault.
Precisely your fault, actually.
Oh, welcome to the cooking show.
I like to try and make 1 to 2 different recipes throughout the week so that I'm not just eating meal prep. It adds a little bit more variety to my meals, and it makes life way simpler, honestly, because I can heat up leftovers and I already have the full meal there. I also enjoy coming up out of the work hole in the middle of the week to cook, and I find it very cathartic for me. As a dietitian, I have always loved to cook, and it was something that I used to do with my mom growing up, and she showed me how to cook a bunch of stuff. So I love to find new recipes and try different foods that I haven't had in a while, and I haven't had pears in a minute, so I tried this recipe.
So Chad and I have this belief that pears are just quite a beta fruit. Not the best fruit in the world. I don't really know anyone that's like, I'm craving a pear. What do you think?
Dude, nah. The only thing pears got is DJ Khaled.
Precisely. So I decided that I wanted to cook pears because they're in season. It's not very dietitian of me to not enjoy a fruit or a vegetable. So we roasted it, not like we just did, but in the oven, with fennel and thyme and lemon juice, salt and pepper, and some olive oil. I paired his with a lemon, garlic, and basil dressing on some pasta with some chicken thigh, and I need your full review.
Well, I already had a bite. Fennel crunch, incredible, right? I go with pasta in there so I get some good squishiness. Chicken,
Good squishy.
chicken is chicken. And then late, I was like, when's the pear gonna hit? And then it just hit, bro. After I flavored everything, the pear just like came in at the last minute, dog.
Just slid right in there.
Perfect.
Here you guys will see me having my last and final creamy ever. It is chocolate, cherry, and coconut milk. And to be honest, guys, if you can have a creamy, if it doesn't mess with you at all, I 10 out of 10 recommend this flavor combo. I'm a big fan of chocolate cherry or chocolate raspberry, and the coconut milk base, the canned coconut milk, makes it so thick and creamy. Now you can see on Thursday morning, this is where it hit the heaviest. If you guys eat food sensitivities or intolerances, symptoms tend to show up 1 to 3 days afterwards, not allergies. Allergic reactions are very quick onset, and that's when we see like throats closing up and itchy skin and itchy throats and things like that. But this is just a food sensitivity, and I find that in the next couple of days, I have really low energy, I feel sluggish and lethargic. You guys can even see me making a matcha here, and I don't have caffeine, but when I do have caffeine, it is matcha, because matcha contains L-theanine, which works synergistically with the caffeine to help minimize the jitteriness and then also that spike and crash of energy. So if you don't have green tea or matcha, you could always like take L-theanine with decaf coffee if that's something that you wanted to do. But we do what we can to be able to get through this day because your girl was struggling and just not feeling good. Now you guys can see I'm having some Tulsi ginger tea and then some licorice tea to support my hormones, some electrolytes again to support my hydration and my energy, and then we were feeling pretty snacky right after breakfast. So we had a date with that chocolate adaptogen spread, and that's been my favorite sweet snack as of right now. For lunch, again, you see me having a big old salad with a ton of antioxidants. We got beets, we got the sun-dried tomatoes, but instead of the blueberries, I'm having half of a sumo citrus mandarin. And when you are dealing with any sort of flare-up, whether it is health-related or gut-related or even like hormone related. You really want to be just nourishing the body as much as possible. So that's why I'm trying to get so many different colors into my day here, because I know that my body is feeling pretty depleted. You guys can also see that I'm feeling a little bit more snacky with sweet snacks, and this is also just due to the fact that I don't feel well, which shows you guys that getting adequate sleep, adequate rest, and adequate recovery so that you can make good informed decisions, because when we are super tired, especially at night, we tend to crave foods that are going to give us readily available energy, which usually comes in the forms of sweets or chocolate or snacks. Now for dinner, we were getting a little creative again. I decided to go with roasted root vegetables. So we have rainbow carrots, leeks, and turnips. And then I decided to make lamb chops. I don't know why. I just felt a calling to make lamb chops. I don't even know if I've ordered one in a restaurant before, but let me tell you that these things were so good. I'll show you my reaction and Chad's reaction in a minute, but Chad ate 80% of them, to be honest. I think I got like 3 lamb chops, but fed him for the week. So that's a win for me and saves me time meal prepping. I just got my lips done today, so that's why we got a little bit of a crazy look going on right now. I don't even know if I've ordered a lamb chop out, to be quite honest, but I've really been wanting to cook one. So this is my first try at cooking a lamb chop. It looks like the doneness is right where we need it to be. I did it in the air fryer. So simple. The vegetables are absolutely incredible, but I wanted to give this a first impression. I'm the queen. So we got leeks and radishes and rainbow carrots with some lamb chops. Review. Good?
Dude, that is the best protein source. I was gonna say meat, but that would have been weird. Protein source I've had in this household.
Yeah?
I mean, it's pretty up there with that that Kobe Wagyu that I fucking brought home.
Nah, dude. No, this is better. Slay. Slay. Friday morning, we are starting with one of those little turmeric citrus bites filled with pepitas. I don't know, they're really fun to eat. And then we have an apple and some electrolytes. Went to the gym to get a little lift in, came home, and we were out of potatoes. But luckily, I keep the freezer stashed with Flex Pro sweet potatoes because I find that meats are easier to cook than carb sources, especially when you're paleo. You're not eating grains, so you can't really have like bread or anything. Can't really pop in like pasta. So this ultimately like saves the day. My extra fat source aside from the eggs was this olive bruschetta.
I thought that this issue was solved, but my food ick has returned, and I'm not quite sure what to do about it. Sorry, Bean. All that sounds good to me is like very plain food. So honestly, I'm gonna have a salad with 2 kinds of fruit on it and chicken thigh and just call it good. So we got my cruciferous crunch that I've been using for the past couple of days, and then we're gonna add the other half of the orange from yesterday and some blueberries. So this definitely doesn't like cure my food ick, but I find that when I'm just eating better, I don't have all these cravings for all these different foods that I just don't eat anyways. So it's really weird. I'll crave like plain potato. Like I was craving chicken thigh and that was the only thing that I was craving, but I knew that I needed like a meal. So it's really interesting to navigate as you start to clean up your diet and your taste buds start to acclimate. Even like your gut microbiome starts to repopulate itself because the gut-brain axis is actually so real. When we have certain bacteria in our gut that tell us to crave certain things, then that's what we want. But now I just crave like white potato and I crave chicken thigh, and it's really satisfying because I don't have all these crazy cravings all the time. But it's also really interesting to not be craving foods. Whereas I feel like that's very common in society, especially as females. You crave like ice cream or brownies, and like I'll crave chocolate, but not like that. So really interesting, but also really cool to crave like chicken thigh.
For dinner, again, we're keeping it super simple. That knife was really hot, by the way. I didn't actually cut myself. I tend to quote unquote meal prep 2 onions for the week. So I will dice up a red onion and I keep it in a little Tupperware or in a bag. And this is what I add into my avocado guac bowl. And you guys, Mole sauce is my Roman Empire right now. So I have been adding mole sauce on top of my chicken thigh that I then put into this bowl of guac. And oh my God, this actually like changed my life. It is so good. And you guys can see I'm making a little cassava flour tortilla quesadilla on the side here with that BioLife cheese. And pro tip, if you guys add a little bit of water into the pan and close it, it steams in the pan so that you can actually melt the cheese in the middle of the quesadilla. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes the cheese is still cold in the middle and it's not all melty and shit. This is how you avoid that.
I have had a full reset day today. I got my work done a little bit early so that I could just take an Epsom salt bath, slow down and have a meal and read with dinner, and my cup is so full. That's a massive part of managing some sort of autoimmune disease or condition, is to manage your stress levels. So especially since I kind of fucked myself earlier in the week, I'm making sure that I'm really slowing down. I just finished my last training session this morning, which was hard, but I'm not training at all this weekend. I might just do like gentle yoga in my apartment tomorrow morning just to move my body a little bit. But I'm gonna take you guys through my full day of eating tomorrow, and that will wrap up the full week of eating. And it's gonna be an intuitive day. I do take a couple days a week to not track. I'm only like taking 1 or 2 this week. I think I'll probably take them on Saturday and Sunday. But since my goals have shifted away from just physique and bodybuilding, I really enjoy just not plugging things into my phone. I usually make sure that I end up falling somewhere around my 2,500 calorie mark, but it's really nice to just listen to my body and allow that to be the guide and trust in that, because there was a long time that I didn't allow myself to do that. But this is a new era. It's performance-based, it is wellness-based, and I am really enjoying it. I will say that I'm not feeling 100% better yet. I'm still definitely very inflamed, and I can see and feel it in my midsection. It just feels like very hard and puffy, and when I pinch my skin, you can tell that it's water versus like fat. So if you guys pinch body fat, it feels like little globules, but if you pinch water, it just kind of feels like rubbery and round, and that's exactly what I'm feeling like right now. So the self-care day was very much needed. So I'm about to make my last meal of the evening. I haven't had a pancake bowl since I went paleo, and that sounds really good, so I'm gonna see if I can recreate it. First impressions taste test. I'm not mad about it at all. Next time I would definitely do melty berries on top instead of the yogurt, but I wanted some more fat in my day. Not bad though. I'm gonna keep perfecting it to see if it's a true dupe for the last one that I loved.
It is Saturday morning, and just because I'm going to brunch with my girlfriends at like 11, at this time it was like 8 in the morning, and I knew that I would still be hungry. And being paleo, you never really know what the restaurant's going to have. So while I did take a look at the menu ahead of time, I still wanted to make sure that I was going into the lunch brunch situation feeling nice and satisfied, not necessarily full, but not ravenous, because then I would be tempted to eat something that would make me not feel so good. So we are using the root vegetables that I made for dinner the night before and adding some eggs onto it, because whatever you slap an egg onto, it becomes breakfast instantaneously. For brunch, we went to this place called La Mona Rosa in downtown Las Vegas. If you guys are looking for a fun pink brunch to go to for girlfriends or for a bachelorette party, 10 out of 10 recommend it. And I could only get the agua chile because that was what was paleo friendly. And I came home starving. So I made a protein, apple, yogurt, plant-based bowl, and then I went and got a decaf coffee from our coffee machine in our apartment complex.
It is Saturday, which means that we are going grocery shopping on Sunday, which also means that meals are starting to get a little ratchet because we don't have any meal prep left. So we're getting creative. This is one of my favorite meals. Usually I do it with some sort of prepped meat, but you know what we got? A can of salmon. Great source of omega-3s, and I honestly don't feel like cooking any sort of protein right now. So we're gonna do an entire bag of cauliflower gnocchi, We got some veggies in here. This is also grain-free and paleo-friendly, by the way, if you guys were looking for an option that might suit you and your gluten-free paleo needs, or you maybe just like cauliflower gnocchi like I did before I ever went, all of those things. This entire bag in the bowl. And then the sauce is what really makes this. I might add some arugula onto there to make it a little bit fancy, but honestly, like this is one of my favorite meals. We're gonna microwave the cauliflower gnocchi for a couple of minutes and take it out. All of the ones on the outside cook faster than the inside, so move those all around. Then you add the can of tuna and you're gonna pop it back in for like a minute. All right, all of this is ready to go. And now the toppings are my favorite part. So we're gonna start with some balsamic vinegar. You can also use coconut aminos if you want. They're both equally as good on this. Just drizzle that all on top. I'm gonna do some nutritional yeast for some extra protein and just so it tastes like cheese. I used to do Alfredo on this before I went dairy-free, and I haven't found like a paleo-friendly pasta sauce that I love, so I just make this sauce. Next, we're doing tahini, because even on my intuitive days, I try and get at least 100 grams of fat in. I find that my body does really, really well on it, and it helps me get all of my calories in. All right, now we're just gonna do salt and pepper. And some lemon juice. I've tried it without the lemon juice before. This is definitely a major key. And there you go. Kind of ratchet, but it hits all of the major macros. You get your micros, you get your fiber, and it's cheesy. So pretty fire meal in my opinion.
And lastly, we went to the motherland, which is Salt and Straw. I love Salt and Straw so much, and this was so hard for me to give up when I went gluten and dairy-free, but it was dairy-free Decadence Month, so they did have options that fit paleo. I thought that I was gonna have another meal or snack before bed, but I'm not super hungry, so I'm just gonna call it a night. I'm gonna have my 2 nighttime drinks that I will show you guys after this, but I wanted to go ahead and close out the vlog so I can take my makeup off, do my hair oiling, all of the good stuff, hop in bed with my drinks and a book. I'm so excited for that. But honestly, guys, I just wanted to show you that people fuck up. I am a coach, I'm a dietitian, and I'm putting Hashimoto's into remission with all of these dietary restrictions, and I still fucked up. So I needed to pull my body back. I needed to reset my body and to get my body back to a state where I felt really good again. And honestly, it didn't happen until today. I felt inflamed, I felt tired, I had brain fog. So if you slip up on your diet, it happens. If you eat too much at a meal and you don't feel good, I promise you didn't gain 10 pounds in that single meal. You can always make better choices the next day and make every single meal an opportunity to take care of yourself, to reach your goals, and to nourish your body from the inside out. So I hope that you guys got some good meal ideas that you can take and make this week, or maybe you'll meal prep. And I'm excited to continue showing you guys my meals as I start to transition into more of a hybrid style of training. I decided today that I'm going to be running a 5K in March, so I'll be documenting my first ever running prep for that. And to those of you guys that are gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo, putting Hashimoto's into remission, I hope that this gave you some good inspiration and just let you know that even on the hard days, you are not alone. Thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe for more.